The Arisaka rifle is probably one of the more well-known bolt-action rifles of either world war. Its history dates back to 1897 and, similar to other bolt-action rifles like the Lee Enfield, has a number of variants that were produced between its inception and the Second World War. With Battlefield 1, we got to use the Type 38 variant, while in Battlefield 5, we're now given the Type 99. Hey everyone, what's going on? Christopher the video game historian here with another video on the history behind the weapons of Battlefield. With this video, I'm sticking with the Pacific weapons given to us with the release of Chapter 5, War in the Pacific. This time, I'm taking a look at the standard issue rifle of the Imperial Japanese forces, the Arisaka Type 99 rifle. Prior to the war, the Japanese forces were outfitted with the Type 38 rifle first introduced in 1905. And an improvement on the original model of 1897. This particular rifle was chambered in 6.5 by 50mm with a bolt design similar to that of Mauser rifles. Roughly 3.4 million were produced and outfitted to the Imperial Japanese forces, serving the Empire for nearly 30 years. In 1914, during the outbreak of World War I, the British would actually purchase a number of the Type 38s for use as training rifles to meet the demand of enlisted men, and designated as the rifle magazine 256 caliber, pattern 1900 and 1907. As the Japanese entered the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1937, they quickly realized that they were outmatched by the Chinese in terms of firepower. The Chinese were using rifles chambered in the much more powerful 7.92 by 57mm round, such as the Gewehr 98s and the ZH-29s. Compared to the Japanese 6.5mm round, the Chinese cartridges were more powerful and had better range, leaving the Japanese outgunned and at a major disadvantage early in the war. This disadvantage would lead the Japanese to creating a new type of cartridge for a new rifle to put them on a level playing field against their enemies. The new round that they developed and tested was a 7.7 by 58mm Arisaka cartridge, initially tested in rechambered Type 38 rifles. After several trials and fixing some teasing issues, the Type 99 Arisaka rifle was introduced in 1939. Aside from being chambered in a larger round, there really wasn't much of a difference between the two, although the Type 99 did have a few novel, albeit useless features that were lacking on the Type 38. These features include a fairly fragile looking monopod located at the fore end of the rifle, as well as AA sights designed to sight in low-flying aircraft. Needless to say, these features were not very practical out in the field. The Type 99 also had a chrome-lined barrel to help with maintenance, but this would be something that was dropped by the end of the war due to the lack of raw materials and decrease in production quality. In addition to being chambered in 7.7 by 58mm, the Type 99 weighed just over 8 pounds unloaded, while being 44 inches long for a short rifle variant, and had a magazine capacity of 5 rounds. Its muzzle velocity was just under 2,400 feet per second, and featured a cock-on-closed bolt design to help with firing the gun faster. Sniper variants of the rifle were usually equipped with a 2.5 times Tomoka Type 1 optic and a bent-down bolt handle. The new Type 99 rifle was fully intended to replace the Type 38s in its entirety for the Japanese forces. However, due to high demand and production not being able to keep up, it was never able to fully replace the old rifles, and as such, the Japanese were forced to keep using the Type 38s well into the Second World War. As the war broke out, both rifles were in use by the Imperial forces. However, as the war continued, especially towards the end of the war, raw materials began to run low while the quality of producing the rifles dropped significantly. Many rifles were leaving the factories with unfinished wood or fixed rear iron sights. Other rifles were simply too dangerous to use, as the machining process of the internal parts was just not good. Regardless of the quality though, each rifle bore the mark of the Emperor, and as the war drew to a close, with Japan's surrender, many soldiers grinded down the insignia in the belief that this would lessen the humiliation of their surrender. Production would come to a cease in 1945 after the war. However, roughly 133,000 rifles would be produced again and see use in the Korean War by South Korean forces, who rechambered them into .30-06. And that's really all I have on the Arisaka Type 99 rifle. What are your thoughts on it? Is it perhaps the best sniper rifle in the game, or are you more of an SLR user? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, especially now that YouTube has updated their terms of service to allow them to take down any channel not commercially viable to them. As it is, I'm unable to monetize my channel due to the site's requirements, and since I'm not bringing in any revenue to YouTube, my channel may be at risk of being taken down, along with many other smaller channels. So don't forget to subscribe to your favorite small YouTube channel as well, and with that rant, I'm the video game historian, and I'll see you all on the battlefield.